Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mariya Saadullah and I am teaching biosafety and biosecurity course in University Institute of Medical Laboratory Technology in the University of Lahore. So the topic today is safety and rules of the laboratory in clinical laboratory, and learning outcomes are principles and practices in the medical laboratory, safety symbols, general rules for the working in the clinical laboratory. Biosafety is very important and backbone for the safety of ourselves and the environment. If we define biosafety, biosafety is all about practicing rules and regulations that are given by different authorities and institutes like JCIA and College of American Pathology and different international organizations. Biosafety means using all procedures and standard operating procedures and principles and equipment to prevent an exposure that could harm ourselves, personnel in the laboratory that are working, and that could spread out into the environment. So that's why it is very important that we have to follow each and every step that is mentioned in the standard operating procedures and all the activities that we are doing in the laboratory. So first of all, as you know, we have to be attentive in the lab. Each and everyone that is working in the clinical laboratory or any research laboratory should be attentive and should use their own judgment in order to prevent any harm or any incident that could lead to their exposure to such organisms. Exercise caution and good judgment. So follow all the instructions given by the head of the laboratory or head investigator and the supervisor, and notify the supervisor immediately regarding any incident or unsafe activities, unsafe areas that you find they are taking place. Follow instructions as in SOPs. Read lab instructions ahead of time when you are going to start your procedure. Try to focus on your steps or manual that instructs you the procedure. Always follow lab procedures exactly. Never do unauthorized experiments or alterations on your own. The safety that you are also need to take care of about your eyes, your face, that can lead to exposure that are eyes, nose, that could be in direct contact with the splashes. Wear safety goggles. When working with chemicals, flames, heating devices, if there is a possibility of flying debris. If you wear contact lenses, let your supervisor know about that and you should not be using contact lenses when you are using chemicals. So in case of emergency in which a chemical goes into one's eyes, you should wash your eyes with a normal saline or which is placed in eye wash station. Also, flush in water for 15 minutes and notify the supervisor or the head of the laboratory. And as you know about proper attire should be worn all the time in the laboratory. Always use proper PPE or personal protective equipment. Keep your long hair tied back so that they do not interfere with any of your experiment. Do not wear loose clothing, and so that they cannot catch fire, they don't interrupt you while you're working. And also cover your foot completely. Footwear that completely covers the foot is required. Next point would be hand safety. Hand safety is very important in terms of the biosafety steps. Handle glassware, sharp tools, and heated containers carefully. If a chemical spills on your skin, notify the supervisor, and rinse with water for 15 minutes. Wash hands after finishing any step or long procedure, or like after experiments. If they are finished, you have to wash it or use hand sanitizers for cleaning the hand. Also, it is very important if you are entering the lab or exiting the lab, it is very important to wash your hands, as mentioned in the World Health Organization's brochures and also the standard procedure for hand washing. Also, there should be the safety symbols that are also placed on the chemical containers, that everyone which is working in the laboratory should know about each and every safety symbol that is present on the container. All of the chemicals that are used in the laboratory should be labeled, and they should be labeled with the appropriate symbol which can indicate to a worker or a technologist that this chemical can lead to any type of harm. Like, for example, it can be corrosive like acids. In case of alcohols, can also be flammable. They will alert you to a possible dangers. These symbols will alert you. They will remind you to work careful. So there are also symbols like corrosive, hazardous for the environment. As you can see, explosive means that it can cause an explosion if used irresponsibly. Toxic, extremely flammable, irritant. So there are a variety of chemicals which can be harmful to the environment and for the worker also. So always try to place flammables in a metal cabinet. Wooden cabinets are less encouraged because catches fire. So wooden cabinets will also they will also catch fire. Also place the liquid bottles that chemicals below the head level. You can also put them in the cabinets which are made below head level, so you can easily take up a bottle and use it, and also replace them correctly. Never leave any chemical unattended, or never leave any bottle uncapped. So try to use the amount which is written in the procedure, and then recap the bottle correctly and place it before you proceed on your procedure. Sharp objects are also very important. Always cut away from fingers and body. Do not try to recatch any falling sharp object. Always carry an object and point it away from your face or from your body, or even away from any other person. Never try to catch. Okay, so sharp objects, when using knives or other objects, always walk with the points away from you. Notify supervisor if you get cut, or if there are broken glasses. Read the instructions about how to clean broken glass or shattered glasses. So do not use your bare hands or like this. Okay, so try to use sharp containers for sharp objects. If you want to waste anything, always use biohazard sign labeled sharp box, and try to use it one way, that is that the like syringes, needles and blades are put in the sharp bag or sharp hard container once, and you fill it 3/4 of the bottle or the container, and you never reopen it. Only close the container and properly label it, and you can dispose of the hard container. Next important point would be electrical safety is very important, and electrical safety, as you know, instruments are working on electrical supplies and electricity. You have to be very careful when using electrical plugs. Only electrical plugs are to be placed on electrical outlets. Do not try to put anything else inside the plugs. Unplug electrical equipment after use, and also prevent the plugs from water in case of calamities. Turn off the electricity while leaving the laboratory. When the work is completely done, finished, you have to turn off the instruments and then you have to leave the laboratory. Keep all electrical cords or wires and appliances away from water. So try not to bring any wire inside through the walking aisles, so someone would trip over it. Handle all equipments carefully. Next is physical safety. Handle all equipment carefully. Do not place a cord in aisle or walking aisle, or any books or stools in out of the way. So keep books picked up out of the walking aisles. Next is heating safety. Tie back the hair and loose clothes when working with open flames. Try to work very carefully when you are working with flames. Never leave the heating source unattended. Never look into a container that is used for heating. Never try to handle it without gloves. Never point the end of the test tube or any container that you are heating into someone's face, or never try to heat it in a closed container. Heated metal and glass looks cool, so you have to wear proper gloves for them. And do not place hot glassware directly on lab desks, or it will burn the shells. Read all labels twice before removing a chemical from the container, and you have to pour the chemical that you are or solutions that you have made in a container already labeled properly. Only use a type and amount of chemical instructed to be used in the procedure. So do not alter any type of chemical by yourself. Never touch, taste or smell any chemical. Never mix chemicals until instructed to do so. So chemicals are always think of as a dangerous chemical. So if you want to transfer some solution to another tube or any other container, do that carefully. Keep lids on chemical containers when not in use. And when diluting an acid, pour acid into water. And also consider all chemicals dangerous. Store flammable chemicals in steel cabinets. And do not place chemical jars and bottles on floor. Animal safety is very important for biosafety aspects. So as you know, animals are handled in research laboratories, and they have provided their life for the research. So always treat living organisms humanely. Wash your hands before and after handling animals, as they are being treated with some sort of drugs or chemicals, so they can be dangerous also. Treat them humanely. Respect the life of all laboratory specimens. Even plants, you have to treat them carefully. Do not try to taste any plant, or if you have allergies, you have to inform the supervisor and instructor that if you have some sort of allergies with the animal or the plant, you have to inform. So wear proper personal protective equipment when handling any animal or any plant inside the lab. For example, if you are handling a rat or a monkey or something, so you have to properly wear the overall, and also the face shield or mask, goggles should also be worn. That would be all for now. So my message for today would be, the right way is the safe way. So do it right. Thank you for watching.